Hey everybody, in this video we're going to cover what we talked about last weekend and what happened. So we'll start with the spine. You'll see closer to going 2 up, and it did, so you're still good there. And that means you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2 ups in a row. So if we start coming back below any of these weekly lows, that'll be something I want to know about, but for now, knowing you're doing that. You go to the Qs, we had the 3-2 hammer setting up, and we got that. So above here, that's in force 430.24, ran about $7. And that told us to look at the technology XLK. And the XLKs had the hammer counter shooter weak. The magnitude of that is to take this out, and it did. So very, very nice. If we go to then within the XLKs, you're going to see SNPS, relative strength with the inside weak. As long as you're above this here, 55241, we said we're going to go take this out because that triggers the 2-2 reversal month, which is going to take this, and it did. Now it's got all month to go after that. We just got to stay up and out above 573.77, and you get another 3 weeks to trade. We can then also go to crowd, and you'll see here we also had the relative strength inside week after corrective activity here. So anytime you were above last week's highs, that was an inside bar in force 212 continuation, and you're going to see just about $24 move at the highs, moved about $30. If you go to the day here, you had Tuesday 3-2 on Wednesday, 3-2 reversal here above that. Then you got 3 days to go after that, and they took some profit on Friday. If we go to PanW in the tech, you're going to see the 222 hammer week back up above 347.63. And what did you get? You got about $33 at the high, closed up $29. And like we said on the yearly, that's a 3-2. So guess what? That's still good unless you take out this week's lows. So we'd like to see that keep going. As long as you don't take this out, that's still good. And we'll see what they want to do the rest of the month. We can then also go to the SMHs. So in the SMHs, we noticed the hammer counter shooter week as well, which reconfirms the tech and reconfirms the Qs. So above this, 191.73, that's a buy. And you can see that gap up, fill the gap going red first, then red to green here. That's when we want to get in, and it rips. So in the SMHs, we told you TSM would be the relatively stronger one because it's an inside week. And you'll see here above 118.01, how much does it go? It goes about $17 at the highs and closes up $15. So unless you take this out next week, 116.58, you're not reversing that. So we're going to look for that to continue. You still got magnitude to go up to here because your 312 magnitude on the year is to take out 145 psych, and that's in force above 110.69. So you've got all year to keep going after that. And since we know the semis look like this, like NVIDIA, and SMCI looks like this, once SMCI, or not SMCI, TSM starts doing that too, potentially that one can keep going as well. We did see then AMAT was going to be the hammer counter shooter as well, reconfirming the Qs, reconfirming the tech, reconfirming the SMHs right there above 169.18, and it does what it needs to do, rallying about $16 or $17 at the highs, closing up 16.66. If we go to LRCX, you're going to see as well the 222, and we said maybe that one goes up faster, and it did pretty much the same as the rest. So you're going to see right up into the magnitude at the highs, 63.83 from the trigger and 61.59 at the close. So we'd like to see all that stuff keep going. We can then also go to AMD, which did not work. And this is an example of one where it just wasn't in force. If you're not above this, 179, you're not in force. We can't buy that. You had a second to buy it on Monday, and you can see like this. You had the gap up, slight gap above yesterday's highs, and then sold within the first 60, never came back for a retrigger. So there's nothing we could do there. Even if you did try to get that long, potential 3 when this goes red, you have to get out. And in fact, potentially flip short, take out yesterday's lows for the PMG. So we'll have to see if that one wants to strengthen back up. For now, it's going to be an inside month doing nothing. So going into the rest of the month, if it's going to stay like that, we don't want to trade it. And that covers most of what we talked about in the last week video. We can also take a look at Google. So we mentioned we'd like to see that rev strat back up and keep going. So you can see they went 2-2 on Monday, rev strat here. Then they 2 up again on Tuesday, reconfirming what Monday did with corrective activity. Then the 2 up, 2 up, 2 up, and they kept going. So that's good. We're still trying to take this out, 155.16. So you'll see your entry is this, your stop would be the low here, and then you bump your stop up these pivots as it goes. So next week, we're going to look for the 312, which could take this out. And then we would become a 2 up month again. And that means that shooter on the month never went in force, so we had no shorts to be taken there. And on Apple, we had similar, except it was weaker. So we had the gap down buy on Friday a couple weeks ago. And then the 2 up, 2 up, 2 up, 2 down reversal. This is where I just got on my calls from down here on the 60-minute. And we'll just have to see. It did go 2 up on Friday, but closed as a shooter. So next week, it'll have the same inside week, but that's either going to confirm or negate. So if it goes inside and down, potentially it changes what the month is doing and starts selling again. If it goes inside and up, then you could potentially take this out and go outside on the month, where this bar, and next week's bar can go outside bar of these 2 bars here. So we'll have to see if that can happen, but hopefully you guys had a good time last week. It was a very good time to trade, and I'll see you guys in the next weekend video that comes out Sunday afternoon.